morning and you do have power, count yourself lucky this morning. Right now, nearly 100,000 Texans without power, and most of those outages are here in East Texas. We have this interactive map, and I just want to show you this storm. We've been talking about how big it is all over the country. Just in the southern region, you can see from Kentucky to Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. Texas ranking second for most power outages in the South. And here in Texas, look at all these colors. East Texas is the major zone for all these power outages. A lot of these counties, over 50% of them don't have power. For example, take Panola County, about 60% of the county without power this morning. Just to give you perspective, that's about almost 10,000 folks without power this morning. Taking a look over at Rusk County, over 50% of the county without power this morning. That's about over 12,000 people without power this morning. Down in Cherokee County, 13,000 people without power as well. Nacogdoches County, not any better, 12,000 people without power this morning. Further up in Gregg County, one of our most populated areas, about 3,000 people without power this morning. Still not as bad, but that is still a lot of people over for Gregg County. And over in Shelby County, 9,500 people without power this morning. We know all these crews have been out working, especially on these cold and icy conditions. Dana, it is quite a mess out there.
All right, it is, and crews have been working hard. We're seeing many of those outages in, like you mentioned, Longview, Kilgore, Henderson, Cherokee County. SWEPCO linemen actively working to restore power in these very icy conditions. And we want to bring in Mark Robinson from SWEPCO this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us, what are your crews doing right now with the sheer number of outages that we're dealing with across East Texas? We're in the thousands, and really, as far as Texas goes, looks like we're bearing the brunt of this.
I do. Yeah, right here.
Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas. We went up to 70,000 customers out. You did highlight several of the areas. In Texas, we have 20,000 customers out this morning. Carthage and Henderson got hit very heavily again. Second round, they sustained a lot of damage the first round as well as the second round. We're seeing a lot of trees down, a lot of ice on those trees, ice on the lines, and so that's what's bringing those lines down. And that's our big focus today, is get those trees off the line with some forestry work and then restore the power.
About how many crews do you think you have out working right now as we just get into the 8 o'clock hour?
Sure. So we have over 5,000 resources just in the SWEPCO area. Many of those, over 2,000, were already here doing system resiliency work, which we have seen the benefit of for many of our customers. And so those are already here, and we've already got them working out this morning. Met with them at 6 o'clock this morning and gave them their work orders, and they're out working as we speak.
We were worried about that freezing rain, and it looks like for the deep East Texas and then also Rusk, Cherokee County, Panola County, that really came to fruition as we were sleeping overnight. And many people probably woke up without power this morning. What's the first thing for those people who are watching us maybe on their phones or tablets right now that you need them to do?
Absolutely. So if you haven't downloaded the SWEPCO app, please do so. It's the best way to notify us that your power is out. And it is also the best way for us to communicate with you. Our focus is, and we've been working with Texas Department of Emergency Management as well as the emergency management agencies at Panola and Rusk and all of our counties to make sure that we're focusing obviously on our hospitals, dispatch centers, long-term care facilities, dialysis centers, water treatment plants. So whether you're a resident or you're a large customer, please make sure that we know that you're out of power, and we're sending the forces that way.
Now, you mentioned that a lot of this is trees that are coming down on those power lines, and everything is blanketed in white and a sheet of ice right now. So safety is a top priority. Best for people just to sort of stay indoors and stay away from any of those trees at this point, I'm imagining.
I have to say thank you. Thank you to our customers and our residents that gave us space yesterday. We did not have anybody sliding into work zones. We didn't have a whole lot of traffic. We're going to ask for the same thing today. Please give us some space. The roads are, including our trucks, we've got big heavy trucks. It's rough conditions out there. There's ice under that little bit of snow, and you will slide around. So please give us some additional space today to continue to restore power.
How does that complicate things for your crews? I can only imagine what it's like. I stepped outside just a few moments ago, and it's bone chilling out there. What level of gear do they have to have in order to do all of this? It's hard to work in these conditions.
Right, so we're used to working in 100+ degrees, not the near zero wind chill that y'all discussed earlier. We use insulated gloves, insulated tools. However, it is cold, right? Everything just moves slower. We have to drive slower. Hydraulics can not pressure up as quickly. It's just going to take us a little bit longer to make sure that we stay safe, but we are out there working. And then the access from a slip, trips, and fall scenario, just making sure that we have our ice cleats on, make sure that we have the appropriate gear, chains on our tires, those types of things. We're getting out there. We have the equipment. We just have to go a little slower to be safe.
Do you think all those preparations that you talked about that we've been doing ahead of time, ahead of this storm, really help? I know the numbers seem large this morning, but it could have been worse.
They do seem large, and specifically if you're out of power, that's the largest number is your outage. But absolutely, I have no doubt all the work that we did in 2025, 1,300 miles of tree clearing on our circuits, had to be extremely productive. 80-something, I think it's 82,000 poles that were inspected and 16,000 poles replaced. Absolutely helped us in this ice storm. I couldn't put a number on that if I tried, but that 70,000 customers across 3 states would have been much higher.
And I know it's hard to put a timetable on it because you do have so many crews working in so many counties this morning. Any idea how long it will take to restore all of this power to the thousands of East Texans who are without this morning?
Great question. We do estimated times of restoration. I was on the call this morning. They'll be asking for those earlier this morning. We will update those via email, via Facebook, social media, all of the different ways that then again, sign up for outage alerts. We will send those so that you know by community when those estimated times of restoration will be.
Any surprises in this ice storm that you've encountered so far with your crews working out there or just trying to manage the situation?
Really just trying to manage the situation. I got to say thank you to our partners, the cities, the counties. If we've asked for roads to be salted or sand or a piece of equipment, hey, we need to clear this road, they have been phenomenal to show up and help us. I know it is a big team effort. We've done this a lot, and so not a ton of surprises this time, but it's been great to have wonderful partners alongside of us.
Before we go, any words of caution, advice to homeowners out there who are waiting for their power to be restored, or you never know. You never know when the next tree is going to fall or the branch is going to come down. So any words of advice, caution that you can offer?
Tree safety was a great prompt. What we're seeing, we're out in the woods right now, we're getting the power on, we're using chains. If you're using a chainsaw, what we've noticed is that those tree branches as you're cutting, they're breaking. They don't just bend, they don't cut all the way through. Get about halfway through and it pops back at you. So don't walk under trees with major icicles. Be careful when you're trimming. Check on your elderly neighbors, and remember that just because your power is on right now, doesn't mean that it's going to stay on. Hopefully it does, but sometimes we have to pull down a circuit to be safe to repair, to put it back on. And so always have a contingency plan and check on your neighbors. There's some without power. If you have power, check on them, please.
And if you see a safety line down, what should you do?
Absolutely leave it alone. And you say, hey, I know that's cable or that's internet. I know that's not a power line. I'm just going to coil it up. Please stay away. Do not touch. You don't know if when it came down, if it wrapped around another power line, and it could be energized. We've seen energized power lines on the ground days after the initial storm. And so please stay away. Call us, let us know, and we will send somebody out to make that safe.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for all your SWEPCO crews are doing out there to get the power back on.
Thank you.
And we will continue checking all those outage maps for you throughout the morning and bring you updates on these conditions as they change.